Trolling on LinkedIn is among my most favorite things.
You troll on LinkedIn?
Yeah, could you explain that? What exactly does trolling on LinkedIn include?
Yeah, because like
How
LinkedIn
do you
is like
troll on
fake. LinkedIn isn't like real. Because like
Expand upon that.
people do it to me, like good friends of mine. Like if there's you just use the generic responses, like what an achievement with an
Yeah.
exclamation
Oh,
point to respond to
okay.
somebody's like new job or anniversary, and that it's hilarious. Like I don't know, nobody talks like that. Nobody acts like they do on LinkedIn. It's so funny.
Oh, so
That's
you're saying
great.
it like they just give you like generic ass response, and then you're just like, wow, like love that for you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Congratulations on your.
I don't think I've logged into
professional
LinkedIn in
achievement.
so long. Like I have the app.
Well, that's
and
good for
everything,
you. That means you're happy.
Does it though? I mean,
I think so.
maybe at like your current employment, maybe.
Once
But,
I
like,
started
don't know.
getting screwed around, dude, I started loading up the whole LinkedIn, updated it.
Fair.
Just
In
booted it up.
fairness, I mean, I found my current job on LinkedIn, so I can't really
Yeah, there
shit
you
talk
go.
too much.
Yeah. Well, I'm not shit talking as much as like,
I don't know
I
if there's a
think-
direct correlation with LinkedIn and happiness.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
was
telling
gonna say.
you,
I
you're
think
not
that's
on there. You're probably
I
happy.
think it's the happiness pipeline is like having a solid LinkedIn profile.
No, yeah, but if you're really like working on your LinkedIn, you're probably not happy. You're probably not thrilled.
Howdy.
I
Hello.
think that it's like I don't know. You see people post a bunch of Facebook updates, like you're like, all right, what's going on with this guy? LinkedIn, I think it's even worse.
LinkedIn is kind of like a Facebook, but for jobs, which makes it
Mhm.
even worse.
Yeah, well, that's
Sounds
what I mean.
terrible.
It's not real. Nobody
Yeah.
acts like that.
The amount of like ads I have on LinkedIn. Let me look at my DMs. Let's see. Like I have so many people are like, I'd love to promote this for you, and it's like business strategy sales. I'm like, that's not even close to what I do.
I've
I don't
had
know
people
why.
contact me about editing podcasts, but not like me editing podcasts for them, but them to edit my podcast. And I was like, I don't need you. What is
Yeah,
this?
I have a DM that's saying I work at Rippling and our platform gives you the single place to manage payroll, benefits, devices, and apps. I'm like, I
What
don't
do
know why
they
you're
think you
messaging
do
me.
for work?
Well, the first
they think
paragraph
Jack
is
pays all of us, and
No,
he has
no.
to worry about the payroll, and he needs.
They
Wait,
go-
you're getting paid?
No,
as a contributing writer at Heavy, I know you want to focus on strategy and spend less annoying time
Yes.
with HR. I'm like, I don't know what you think a contributing writer does, but I
Jack
don't deal with
harasses
payroll.
people from the comfort of his own home.
You
Exactly.
contribute. That's what you do. You don't write, you
Yeah,
contribute.
Yeah, I contribute to the payroll, of course.
Contributor first, writer second.
Exactly. Anyways, welcome back everybody. Sorry you weren't here yesterday. Hello, Dad. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, Matt. How are we all doing? Apologies for the lack of show yesterday. Sam and I were both at the game. Kind of left him out to dry.
Tim
so
not showing the
apologies.
initiative to do 30 minutes on his own.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. No one wants to see
No.
me rant by myself. In
You
like,
probably could do it this week. There's enough like controversial stuff that you could do it.
yeah,
Not
but I
that you would
mean,
want to. I wouldn't.
no,
want to.
absolutely not.
Not fun. It wouldn't be an
No.
exactly fun
Just
thing to do.
Just be one angry white guy screaming into a microphone. It's
exactly.
like one
We've got
half of a
plenty those.
podcast.
Tim starts to see himself become Alex Jones.
Jesus.
One angry white guy with a microphone. All right.
Celtics got back on track last night against the Bulls, avenging their October 24th meltdown with the refs. Joe Mazzulla, Grant Williams getting ejected. They took down Chicago and DeMar DeRozan, who decided to go nuclear, but no one else was really around to help him. I mean, Vooch and Levine put up all right games.
Vucevic played a pretty good game.
He did, but
he did everything he could.
Celtics
would
won
not
the
let them
rebounding
die.
battle, though.
Yeah, good for
Celtics
them.
still won the rebounding battle. Clutch three from Derek White helped them in the end. Jason Tatum put on an all-around performance. I was more impressed with Malcolm Brogdon personally. I thought he looked great. But Sam, I don't know if you saw this stat. Maybe it'll warm your heart a little bit. The Celtics attempted the fewest threes in a game all
They're
season.
good on them.
In that Chicago game, focused on getting to the rim instead, took just 31 threes. And yeah, they got into the paint a lot, got to the free throw line. Brogdon dominated inside. Tatum did the same.
They
look good.
They had to do that yesterday because DeRozan was at the line like it was his job. And Tatum, fortunately, got similar treatment. He shot a lot of free throws, a career high. And of course, Brogdon, a mega efficient night, 9 of 10. He was getting anything he wanted. Nobody could really check him at all. He was just getting to the basket at will. So he was just huge off the bench for the Celtics. And you're actually starting to see some kind of controversy with the point guard stuff. I don't think personally it's necessary to make any kind of lineup changes or anything like that, because it makes more sense to bring Brogdon off the bench. You're replacing a scorer with a scorer, and he comes in and has a more defined role. If you put him in the starting lineup instead of Marcus Smart or Derek White for that matter, he's going to have to try and adjust and fill a smaller role, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But people are calling for it, and Brogdon finished the game yesterday with White instead of Marcus, who was in foul trouble, which is why he was sitting watching. But who knows? We'll see. I think Marcus has some improvement to do, despite him being my favorite player. I just think he's got to be a little better. He's been a little bit aggressive at the wrong times. I don't think he's chucking per se, but there are a couple times where he'll push the ball and force a drive or something like that, and it just doesn't go for him. I also think Marcus is missing Rob. Rob was someone that Marcus was able to play real well off of, throw lobs to him, and he was really good at finding him underneath, and he's missing that a bit. He's not, in my opinion, a real drive and kick kind of guy. He's just more of a setup the guys underneath for easy buckets. I feel like that's when he's making his best passes.
I tend to agree there. I think the one thing I will say about like the whole, I don't know if there's as much a point guard controversy as much as it is people wanting to try and like push Brogdon in the starting lineup. And I'm not saying that he can't do that, but I think that's the exact opposite of what you wanted him to do when you brought him here. The whole idea was for him to take some of that workload off of the bench. And I mean, you can go ahead. He can get a cool 20 just about any night because he's just that good. But the whole boost behind him getting here is that he's your sixth man, and he just lights up these opposing second units. I mean, the bench last night outscored the Bulls 41-15. And like you said before, they were getting into the paint at will. 54-34, I think, was the differential in the paint. So, and he's an excellent finisher inside. He had a couple ridiculous finishes where I'm like splitting the difference on defenders. I don't even know how he got half of those shots up. But I think overall, I think the only point guard controversy that I mean, you want Marcus Smart to play a little bit better, but I think he will. I think he's I think he's a little beat up. I don't think they're really talking about it, but I feel like there's something off to just a little bit there. I thought he got
knocked out last night.
Like the Peter Griffin, where like Peter Griffin like snaps his neck and falls down.
Yeah,
he literally looked like that. I was really, really worried. I'm glad he's, seemingly okay. I wonder what his minutes will be tonight, but I feel bad for Peyton Pritchard, man. A few people have said this online, and I said this for a while now too, where you've got three really capable guards, all of them like starting level, and you've got this nice blend between the three of them. And when Rob comes back, you're going to see Derek White get shifted to the bench. So what exactly is going to happen for Pritchard?
That's rude.
That's just mean. Hey, man, like I can't even joke about that though, because like Pritchard is like my height. He's a regular average dude. He's like 6 feet tall. It's just the fact of, look, if you're that small of a point guard and you don't have like certain physical gifts, like a big wingspan, you're going to suffer on the defensive end. And if he's not hitting his threes, like he's not getting an opportunity. And so far we've only seen him get minutes in garbage time. And it's not like that has happened very frequently for the Celtics so far this season.
Yeah, Sam and I talked about this. Who are we talking about? Sandals? No, we're not talking about Sandals right now.
Who's Sandals?
I don't know who Sandals is. But
is that Pritchard? Is that a nickname that I'm unaware of?
Yes, maybe? But I said this on
Landon,
our podcast last time. I think as much as the guard rotation is definitely an issue for Pritchard getting minutes, I think the bigger problem for him is Sam Hauser, because realistically speaking, the only reason he would be getting he means my slippers.
You're calling them slippers? No, those aren't slippers. Those are Crocs.
No, they got the fuzz.
It's a Croc. It's a Croc with interior
They're my slipper
finish.
Crocs, though. They're my slipper. Like I wear them around the house. That is the point. Like,
what's the brand?
They're Crocs. They're like Croc slippers, though. I use them as slippers. You know what I'm saying? Like these are Crocs.
Multi-purpose.
Like these are outdoor. Like I wear these outside. These are slippers. And don't even get me started on the Lightning McQueen, the bad boys.
Oh my God!
Aren't those expensive?
No, they came on. They re-released them for retail. So
okay,
how much were they before?
I was on like one of those like
they're on Goat for like $200.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I was like, that's a lot for Crocs.
That's a lot for anything, but yeah, Lightning McQueen Crocs.
It is a lot.
I'm
They're
fuming
sick,
about
though.
what? I'm not
Fire.
fuming.
Oh my god, it's
Not
like a
yet.
They're
meme.
very cool.
I'll be fuming at some point, just not right now.
But yeah, I think if Sam Hauser wasn't playing so well, they would need the extra shooting with Peyton Pritchard. But since Sam Hauser has been lights out, amazing, everything you could have asked for from him, they don't really need Pritchard, and he's not going to get minutes at the guard position to be a guard. Like if they needed him to be a shooter, sure, and he would get in there and they'd find those rotations. But because Brogdon's playing so well, because Smart is the starting point guard, and despite his struggles, he's still a menace on defense. He can still play make. He's still, I mean, he got to the rim a few times last night, like the rest of the team. It's not like he had a bad game per se. And then Derek White's been phenomenal this year too. It's just really tough for him to find his niche because Sam Hauser kind of took his niche, and he's at a bigger position of need at the wing. And shout out Sam Hauser, the defense has been there. Like he's been pretty good on defense.
All things considered, he was supposed to be a liability, but yeah, I agree, Birkin. Like he's been serviceable. There's a couple times where he had like Zach LaVine having to pass out of a play. So, he's doing enough to keep himself out on the floor, and that's really all you could ask of him. And it's just for Pritchard, it's the size difference, and like you said, Jack, it's a positional need. There's not a lot of small forward depth on this roster. I'm wondering if they do anything to fix that.
Zach LaVine is one of the best players in the league.
Is that sarcasm? I feel like that's sarcasm.
Yes,
it is. Sam,
you hate Zach LaVine. I thought so. I was like, don't
guy's
you
so overrated,
gaslight me here right now.
DeRozan absolutely carries him. Every time I see them play, it's always DeRozan. It's never LaVine.
Can we talk about DeRozan's free throws? Like, what the hell was that?
Crazy.
Insane grifting.
The people in the arena were not happy.
I wasn't either.
Grant Williams was not happy.
Also, Grant's got to slow it down.
I didn't see it at the game, but I guess Horford did the violin at him when he was complaining.
I saw that one. We got an issue with Grant complaining still, right? Like that's
bad. He's got to stop.
They all have to stop. It's ridiculous.
It's mainly
Tatum's lucky he didn't get a tech in Cleveland after he dunked it in regulation.
He should have got a call there, though. I know that the L2 says that it wasn't, but I'm glad he didn't get a tech. It would have been soft if they did.
When's the last time you saw complaining work? Never.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Tatum, to his credit, has really cut down on the complaining for the most part. They've had like 1 or 2 games where it's been a little bit.
The first play of the game yesterday, he was so busy complaining he didn't get back, and they gave up a 3.
He did that a couple times. He does that a few times throughout the game. It's tough, but
he knows when to stop, though.
I think he's been a little bit better at the very least. I think Grant is trying, but his version of trying is very in the early stages, and it's not very good. Grant should have gotten a tech multiple times during that game. I'm shocked it took him that long to get one, honestly. And the funny thing is, he got a tech for complaining about a call for somebody else. Like it wasn't even him; it was Luke. Which again, it was not a good call. But
Cornette doing a lot of the Eclipse,
good stuff.
Well, it's like hilarious because like he's getting beat on closeouts when he's not leaving the paint. Like guys are getting him to jump on a pump fake, and then they drive around him, and he's just like 15 feet away from them.
I was gonna say they're like game planning for the Eclipse now. They're like
they are
noticing it. It's very funny. Outside of those though, and I don't even think those played a big part last night because I think he does it so far away that if they do drive the closeout, he's like able to recover better at the very least, as if he were on the 3-point line. But I think he was good. I thought he played around the basket well last night. I thought he ran it. I tweeted out the 2-man game of Cornette and Hauser was not something I expected to see. And then his passing continues to impress me. He gets into the paint. He finds open shooters. It's been really impressive so far. So I'm very happy with Luke. I kind of hope he gets a start tonight because I think it'd be a pretty good matchup for him. I mean, Mitchell Robinson's athletic, but he's not a guy that Luke's going to have to go out to the perimeter. Oh, Mitchell Robinson's not playing?
Nope. Hartenstein is starting.
Oh,
yeah, Hartenstein.
Even still, Isaiah Hartenstein. I love Isaiah Hartenstein. He was somebody I pegged as somebody I wanted the Celtics to get. But regardless, none of the Knicks bigs are mobile enough where Luke would be, I think, out of place, or can stretch the floor like Vooch where he'd be out of place. So I think him getting a start would make a ton of sense. But
Al Horford, who said he's going to play all the back-to-backs, continues to have back issues whenever there's a back-to-back.
It's the workload, right? Like he's played a heavy workload.
Well, I don't care if he sits or not. Just say you're gonna sit.
Nah,
it's just real funny to me. It's like he's like, all right, like nope, I'm not sitting. But every time he's got a low back stiffness. It's not.
Vonleh? Is Landon saying that Vonleh is gonna start? Have they announced?
Vonleh is not. Sean Grandy tweeted out, Vonleh is not starting, but neither is Cornette.
Is it Grant?
Is it Kevin Gale?
No. Is this?
Ooh, all right.
Bringing out Blake
Griffin, who has not played since when? Chicago?
I don't even know. Let's go take a look. I'll tell you. I can tell you.
He played a few minutes in I think a Cavs game, I thought.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
I know for sure that he did play in that Bulls game, I think.
He played against Chicago on the 24th, and he also played in the Cavs 12 minutes on the 28th.
I'll tell you what, Blake Griffin, he just looks like a man who knows he's not playing. I don't know if you were watching during when they were shooting around at half specifically, but he's screwing around just behind the back, step back threes. He's a man that knows he's not getting in the game.
He's the vibes guy. He's the vibes guy.
Yeah. I was getting a kick out of it. I was like, look at this guy. He's just screwing around. Behind the back, spin, jumper, hitting the front of the rim from three, no arc. Fantastic.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys you both look like you're looking at the same thing.
I was looking at Sean Grady's tweet. Sorry, yeah.
I was Jake
Crowder's
trending,
to,
so
to
I have
the
no
right
idea
of our
why.
screen.
I was just seeing if Jake. I know it's because I've got my whole new setup and stuff. I was just wondering if Jake Crowder. All of a sudden he was trending. I'm like, why? Why is Jake Crowder trending? What's happening?
Traded. He's just weird, I guess.
Saying something. I don't know.
Blake Griffin's position comedy, also mine. That's all I'm really good for. Was Jalen ill?
True.
They reported that he was questionable yesterday with a non-COVID illness, but he played and was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Fine, yeah.
Wasn't great, but wasn't bad.
Had a nice
at the same
dunk.
time. Had two nice dunks.
Yeah,
one that was over Vooch, and then he had another one where he's just wide and clear. Vooch was like, "Nope, I'm not getting in the way of this one."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to jump like that.
I was reading a tweet. Sam would LeBron's 20-year Linsanity run is over.
What do you mean?
It's just his version of Linsanity just lasted 20 years, but the jig's finally up.
Oh, yeah. I thought he said Winsanity.
No, Linsanity. Sorry.
Well, I'll tell you what. That Lakers team is a wagon.
There's something. Russell Westbrook has a better overall shooting numbers than LeBron this year.
That's bad. I don't know. That's just
how much does he play though? Might get watered down.
That's such a strange situation.
He missed some games
screwing around
with his quad. He had a quad injury, quote unquote.
Westbrook?
Yeah, he had some kind of quad. Not now.
He's played in 7 games still.
How much? How many minutes?
7 games. Westbrook's played in 7 games. 29.3 minutes a night.
Reported to have low back tightness.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that.
It was.
Old man pains.
Mm-hmm.
Does Blake still do stand up? I don't know. It's a good question.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Probably to some degree.
Birkin, we talked about Kyrie the other night. I mean, we haven't talked about the suspension. I don't know what else there is really to talk about. He got suspended for 5 games. He put out an apology on Instagram. He got suspended indefinitely by Nike. He had all the chances in the world to apologize in person, and then he didn't. And then he put out an apology on Instagram.
Today.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, come on, man!
I bought this a year ago and forgot I had it, and then I was like, "Oh wow! This is actually on the nose now."
Isn't that a Barstool shirt?
Yeah, it is. And when they dropped it, people were actually pissed at Portnoy. They were like, "That's horrible," or blah blah blah.
It's pretty horrible.
It is pretty terrible.
Well, now it's right on the nose.
Not sugarcoat it.
Nah, I still don't know if it's right on the nose.
It's getting there.
I don't think so. Yeah, World War II, World War III versus. I don't know if it's right on the nose, but yeah. Kyrie Irving suspended 5 games. I don't know when he'll be back. I assume it'll probably just be that 5 games. Then he'll come back because he put out that half-hearted apology on Instagram. But it is what it is. I don't know. We'll see moving forward what happens with him.
One of the smartest people we've ever seen lace him up.
See, this is the thing. I was listening to Front Office Show with Keith and Trevor Lane, and I kind of agree. I don't think Kyrie's a bad person. I just think he's confused. I just think
he's just
lost.
real.
He doesn't know. Yeah, he just he's very susceptible to conspiracy stuff. He doesn't know. He'll pick up on one thing and he'll follow that to the grave. I think he thinks he's doing good things. I think he thinks he means well. but it's just it's bad.
I
Like,
think
the way
he's
it comes
such a
across is
prick
terrible.
that he refuses. No.
Doesn't even
He
beat around the bush.
refuses to admit he's wrong.
Sure,
He is so headstrong
that's the
that
better word.
despite how wrong he may be, how many people he's upsetting, how he is affecting his teammates, the organization, everybody, because now they all look bad, not just him, because they had to wait that long to suspend him and they weren't going to do anything about it, and they gave the empty gesture of the money that's nothing to them.
They said no.
And it was denied. It got refused. But he won't. They were like, "Hey, do you hate Jews? Yes or no?" And he's like, "I'm going to say a bunch of other stuff that's not real."
That's where it got bad. And I think I understand. Excuse me. Sorry. I think the Nets waited too long to do something. I understand giving a guy a chance to apologize, like Jalen Rose last night when he said that crap about the Celtics and the female employee. It was bad.
What was this? I didn't. I was there.
He said it during the broadcast, man. It was on ESPN.
During the broadcast said, if Udoka's name is out there, the woman's name should be out there. It was consensual, which it just wasn't. Like, they rescinded that term anyways. And then he, in his defense, well, not in his, yeah, it wasn't consensual.
When did that happen?
What do you mean?
When did it rescind?
After the first two tweets. Every article since then said Udoka had made remarks and stuff that were unwanted.
Okay.
So it was just Woj and Shams jumping the gun and saying the wrong word, and that's all anybody ever remembered. But not to defend Jalen Rose, but he handled it the way you should handle things when you do something wrong. He went on the air and he made this apology, and it seemed genuine. I feel like he just didn't know everything that he needed to know, and he shouldn't have talked about it in the first place in that sense, but at least he apologized, and that's what Kyrie needed to do. As soon as he did the stupid thing, he should have immediately said, I understand why I was wrong and I apologize. But like you said, Sam, he's so headstrong that he didn't, and I understand why the Nets wanted to give him those chances to apologize and atone for what he did, and when he didn't, they said, all right, goodbye, you're suspended 5 games.
Yeah, I'm like big time against like cancel stuff. I think it's all real dumb. But when you double down, that's when it kind of gets bad, right? I think people misspeak, or maybe not misspeak, but like you can say things and not realize how strong they are or whatever. You just because you say something once doesn't mean you're an evil person and you should never work again or whatever. But when you're really like milking it and being dumb about it and not owning up to it, that's when it gets kind of bad. And like, you're like, okay, like people wanted his book off Amazon. I'm not sure if that happened. I know Nike pulled his shoe income in the deal, so
suspended him indefinitely.
That would be something that is going to maybe open his eyes a bit. It's something else, and the fact that the league didn't really do anything about it right away, and everybody needs to get on them to do something is kind of bad. I don't know. I don't really care for all this controversy, but it's just like it's all being handled real bad to where it has to be talked about.
Yeah, I feel like if it had been handled right from the get-go, then it would have been a completely different situation. But it's not the first time that Kyrie's come out and said problematic things. And the tough thing is like, I think he's done a lot of good for other people. Like, he's done a lot of charity work and humanitarian work, especially within the Native American community. Like, he's done all of this stuff that's off the court and is great and good. And I appreciate him and applaud him for doing those things. But then he goes back and he does stuff like this, where it's like, you are doing a significant amount of harm to your fan base, to people who follow you. Like, there are marginalized groups that you are terrorizing now because you've decided to go ahead and share something that's problematic. I'm not saying you're promoting it, but like, you're putting it out on your platform for other people to see. You could call it promoting. I wouldn't say it's promoting as much as sharing. Like, you're putting it on your platform. Like, you're sharing it to
2 minutes earlier, when you say that I'm blessed to have a place where I can influence this many people.
Yeah, he talks in circles. Exactly.
You called it promoting yourself. So
that's where you got to realize he's just real dumb.
He's talks in circles. He tries to be something he's not. And I don't think that he's a dumb person. I think he's a naive one. I don't think he's stupid.
How do you think Nick Kroll's feeling now that he did Uncle Drew?
Probably really bad. Really bad.
Did you see
that was like one of the first
things. Is he Jewish?
Yeah. Nick Kroll's super Jewish. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Did you see him on Jimmy Fallon?
Oh no, God! Is he talking about it?
No, it was talking about something else. I forget if it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. They're the same person, but they effectively they asked him. They go, "Who's your favorite like musical artist?" He goes, "I think Kanye is pretty cool. It's pretty tight."
Oh,
And they did no. I think he was like Dick Kroll was joking because then they
okay.
did this whole bit. He goes, "You didn't hear?" And he goes, "No, what?" And then they lean over and they start whispering, and Nick Kroll goes, "Oh!" And he started. It was very funny, and I'm pretty sure it was a bit, but it was.
Oh, absolute 100% was
Yeah,
a
those
bit. No,
guys
I
are
hadn't
funny.
seen that.
Kroll's a
That
funny
is
guy.
hilarious.
But
Yeah, he's funny.
yeah, Kyrie man, and like Jack and saying like Nike has any moral high ground. Sure, fair enough, but this is like,
Sure.
I mean, I saw Zoe was telling me there was like an Instagram account that said, Tim, like what you said, Kyrie's done all this great stuff, but none of that gets talked about. Not when
It
you
does.
put anti-Semitic remarks out, then it doesn't get talked about anymore because you're promoting
I
other
saw
stuff
somebody
that
share
it's
that,
like
like saying, like, look at all the good stuff he's done. Why doesn't anyone talk about it?
It's like those are
And
media
like
sources
all
that
the
you're sharing that people
yeah,
are
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
That's what it was. It was like people literally wrote articles about this. What are you talking
You're
about?
talking about Big Mouth. I like that show. I stopped watching it though because it
Big
got a
Mouth
little
is
weird.
funny.
Got weird.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Got
always
weird.
been weird. That's the whole point.
No, but it got too weird.
I don't know. I
It's
haven't
too
watched
weird.
in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I haven't
haven't
paid
watched in a
attention,
while.
but
Yeah,
funny show.
I'm not
I
sad
love
about
Nick
it.
Kroll. Nick Kroll's funny.
Yeah.
But Dennis, you missed basketball talk, then Kyrie talk, and then other stuff. Just a bunch
Yeah.
of random stuff.
Touching all the bases.
We can talk. I mean, what else did we talk about? We talked about the Knicks.
Knicks. We can talk about the Knicks. We've got like 4 or 5 minutes left.
I'm
gonna
gonna
talk
be
about
looking
the
for
team
my
the Celtics
pick
are
as we
playing.
do this.
Knicks beat beat Philly.
The Embiidless.
Everybody's
Sixers,
doing
but
that.
Yeah,
though.
but I mean, like, they're getting played like a drum. I
Yeah,
thought they
Philly
went out and
stinks.
got all of this
Also-
depth.
Also, stinky is the reigning champs. Golden State stinks right now. It's brutal. 0-5
That
on
locker
the
room-
road trip.
There's something on that There's something in that locker room that just ain't right
Something's not
anymore.
great.
They just I feel like there's a lot of teams that are dealing with strife that we're just not seeing, which is
Mhm.
I have to say now, considering that what the Celtics have gone through in the offseason, like had some great additions, had some injuries, had surgery, sideline, like really key guys, had their coach be accused of some terrible, terrible stuff. He's suspended for the year, probably never coming back. And all in all, they're 5-3 right now, and there's 2 games that they probably dropped. They're doing pretty good, and they're only going to get better from here in my mind. So it's just kind of funny how things have shaken out. I mean, Miami's struggling. The only team that like I would worry about that's doing really, really, really well, it would be the Bucks because they're undefeated, and then the Cavaliers obviously have been really great too. They're on a 7-game winning streak. They're 7-1. So early on in the season still, but these Knicks don't scare me. The Knicks have never scared me. The only person on that team that scares me is Evan Fournier, and I think that's with very fair reason.
There, he didn't get the start the other night, and I don't think he's getting the start tonight either. I think Quentin Grimes is in the starting lineup for him again. But fun fact, this is weird, and it's not relevant at all. I was just reading through the stats. Evan Fournier is starting. It's Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Isaiah Hardenstein. So it's good so far. But the weird stat I was looking at is Emmanuel Quickley is averaging 6 rebounds a game, which I don't quite understand. But Jalen Brunson leading them in scoring with 19 points and leading them in assists with 6.9 a game. He's having a good season so far, making the signing look pretty normal. I mean, he's getting paid $25 million a year for 19 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Those are good numbers for $25 million a season. Like those are all-star numbers if they make the. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at this comment. I put 20 units on the Celtics to win by 6 tonight. Let's go.
I
The
think
line
that'll
is now
work.
4.
The line is now 4. Brutal. We'll see. I mean, still good bet. RJ Barrett second in scoring at 18.5. Julius Randle's after that, 17-6. Obi Toppin averaging 11 for them off the bench on really, really good shooting splits. He's averaging 11 points in 16 minutes. Maybe screaming at Tibbs to maybe play him a little bit more, buddy.
I don't get why they're not, just because of Randle, right?
Yeah, they don't like playing him with Randle, but if the difference is 6 points, and I mean Randle shooting 43% from the field and 20% from 3, Obi Toppin shooting 53% from the field and 47% from 3. So maybe give Obi Toppin a little bit more of a chance. Their tips, but maybe not tonight.
Smaller? Maybe just run smaller with Randle at the 5.
They don't like Obi and Randle together. That's the whole thing. Anyways,
well, that kind of sucks because you drafted him really high.
Exactly. So dumb. But sorry. Go ahead, Sav.
Pick of the night presented by Smash the Odds at Smash Odds on Twitter. Follow them for all your picks, gambling needs. Free picks every day on there. And if you want to pay for them, you can get all the picks today. Got to tell you, picks were real good. might be a little bit rich right now. But for you guys, Jason Tatum over 8.5 rebounds. Horford is not playing tonight. Keep your eyes on that one. Bonus one. These are both mine tonight since the man was on football all day. Blake Griffin over 1.5 3, over a half a three to make 1 3. Just think it's kind of fun to look out for. There you go.
If he's starting,
Jack,
there's
Tim,
a chance.
Anybody? You like anything, Jack? Jack's been pretty hot on the picks.
I've been trying to. I forget where I look. What site did I use? I use DraftKings. Let's see. Let's take a look. NBA. I got to get to the Celtics game before I can tell you. Player props. I'm assuming I'm just gonna go with my Grant bet, but I just want to make sure it's the same line. Let's see here.
The
Threes. Grant Williams is over under 1.5 threes again, plus 150 odds. Come on,
That's a good
take
bet.
it. Take that one, and then
The
Grant
cowards. They will still not put the Hauser threes on there.
Absolutely
I look
not.
every game. They won't do it. He's legit. You got to start respecting the man. Give him a line.
Give me Grant Williams points too, over 7.5. That's easy.
All right, there
That's
you have
easy.
it.
Yeah, I would probably bet the over on both of those, especially
Love
against
that.
the Knicks. I feel like there's a chance that Grant gets some run. He needs to get right game 2. He had a great plus minus. He did pretty well against the Bulls, but wasn't lighting it up offensively.
No, he didn't score enough. He would have failed the bets if I made them yesterday, but I didn't give them yesterday, so I'm not taking any down.
Yeah, I
That's
was going
right.
to say yesterday was not a Grant day.
I wouldn't have bet on the going against the Bulls either. The Bulls are
Bulls look good this year.
annoying.
They look good. Better than I thought they would look. I'll put it that way.
So far.
Anyways, I think that'll be it. I don't remember. Is it an ESPN game? I don't think so. I
No.
think it's just normal. So we should be
They're
fine.
putting the Knicks on national TV. Nope.
Hey, New York, Boston. You never know. They've done stupider things. They had, what was it? They had Blazers Grizzlies on national TV the other night, which is like,
This is
I
a
understand.
national
but-
game on
Grizz.
NBA TV.
That doesn't count as national game.
I agree.
NBA
But there's
NBA
college football, and
games.
there won't be national Saturday games till that's done.
That
That's
makes sense.
true.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Someone told me I'm tripping, thinking Cornette is better for us than Dwight Howard. You are absolutely correct, Landon. I'll back you on that any day of the week. Cornette is better than Dwight Howard for right now. But anything you guys want to say before we get out of here?
No, I mean, I'll tell you what. They win today, I'll be insufferable. I'll be tweeting. I'll be saying all the mean things.
There you go, Tim.
Not much to add. I guess we'll just continue to see what the Celtics bigs can do off the bench. I'm still concerned about what they're going to do there, but yeah, I don't think Dwight Howard's the answer for what it's worth.
No, I don't think so either. And the Knicks don't have the best bigs in the world. They're all right. I love Hartenstein, but not the end of the world. Thank you, Dad. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Check us all out on Twitter. That's below our faces. Check out the How About Them Celtics podcast. If you haven't subscribed to that YouTube channel, go over to the How About Them Celtics podcast YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. I think we're at 126 right now. We want to see if we get up even higher into the 200s maybe. We'll put out a new podcast on Monday for you. Yep, like Sam just said. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at How About Them C's. This has been the Bannertown Build-Up. We are here 30 minutes before every Celtics game, and we'll see you guys for the next one. Peace out.